Welcome to Aya, and welcome to Aya Golden Energy Healing. So you've already learned so much now. You've learned about bringing in golden energy from your surroundings and making healing energy out of it, moving it around your body, directing it to heal in your own body, or transferring it to others as healing energy. You've learned about the energy body and loads of the systems within it, like chakras and meridians and the free flow system. You've learned the 3 different methods of transferring your energy to others. You've learned loads of techniques to unblock chakras and meridians and the energy body in general. So when it comes to sending your healing energy to somebody else, we've so far been talking mainly about the energy body. And hopefully you've been practicing with all the exercises we've given you as well. And by the way, if you're new here, please make sure you do go back and you do all the lessons in order. Otherwise, none of it will make any sense. So we're now going to teach you how to send your healing energy into someone with a specific task of healing something in the material physical body. So let's start. And we've got Rosie here to help us out again. So let me first remind you about the golden energy self-healing exercise. That's when you bring golden energy into your solar plexus storage area on the in-breath, and then on the out-breath, you move it somewhere in the body that you're trying to heal. And then you add the programming for that healing energy using visualizations or mantras. So hopefully you remember that and you've got quite good at it now. Because now you're going to do a similar thing, but you're going to send it into someone else to do a healing job. Now, with regards to the breathing, using the breath to intensify the healing energy and move the healing energy around your body. It's easy to do if you're doing healing on yourself, but it's not so easy if you're giving it to someone else. So what we suggest is that you charge yourself up to the max before you give your healing energy out, and then you charge yourself right up again after the healing session. Now, it would definitely help moving the energy if you used your breath during your healing session, but you can't stand there heavy breathing over someone for half an hour, can you? But what you can do is a very light version of it, or just drop it completely while you give the healing. It's up to you. But that only applies to the deep breathing, not the intention part. You've still got to use the visualizations or mantras as a method of programming. You just don't have to match it with the breathing cycle anymore. So let's talk about this exercise. Let's pretend that Rosie's got severe asthma, for example. She hasn't, of course, we're just pretending. And of course, asthma is the subject of the first Aya research project, but that's another story. So there are quite a few steps to think about, and you really need to have done the previous lessons for this to make any sense. So let's go through it slowly and break it down. First of all, you need to plan the session well before you get anywhere near the recipient. So what are the things you need to think about? Well, first, what entry point are you going to use? In other words, which chakras? Now, an easy rule of thumb is that you can just use the closest chakra to wherever the problem is. The anatomy gets quite complicated in the energy body, but that will definitely do for the moment. So in this case, we're sending the healing to the lungs. So we're going to use the throat and the heart chakra, one hand over each. So now you've decided the entry point, you'll need to prepare your visualization or mantra, like we did in the self-energy healing exercise. So in this case, we're going to visualize the healing energy going into the lungs and performing various little tasks. Now, there's a lot to do in the lungs of someone suffering from severe asthma. So just to make it simple, I'm just going to choose a couple of things. The visualization will be seeing the energy removing scar tissue from around the airways and will hopefully help with the flow of air in and out of the lungs. So I'll actually visualize the energy rubbing away the cells of the scar tissue and watch it going down. And the other one we can use is to remove the mucus which builds up in the alveoli and also the airways. That also restricts airflow. So I'll watch the energy going in and actually dissolving the mucus and removing it. Remember, it's really important to make it specific. That's what programs the healing energy. Go and research the condition online beforehand, so you've got some images to work with before the healing session actually happens. So next you need to plan the healing session. You need to know how you're going to apply it. So remember what we said about primers. A primer is a section of white healing energy that you send in first to unblock the way through to the place you want to heal. So you'll start with a primer. Then you'll give the main body of healing, which will just be a repetition of visualizations and moving energy flow. And then after the bulk of the healing, you're going to finish with an ender. That's a section of golden energy flow that replenishes their whole energy body with clear, clean, fresh golden energy. You always finish with an ender. So now you've planned the healing session, let's talk it through together in detail. So you get into position with your hands like this above your chosen chakras, in this case the throat and the heart chakra. You can stand over them like this if you like. But I'm just going to stand here for the moment just so you can see me. So first of all, gather the golden energy into your solar plexus and heart storage area. Now, if it helps, just visualize it shining all over your body if you like. And form the intention that it's just going to gather constantly there for the whole session. Next, visualize it moving down your arms and out of your hands. Now, as it comes out of your hands, visualize it turning white and add an intention that it's a primer designed to unblock the way in. So you visualize the white energy going into the throat and heart chakras. You watch it dissolve any blockages on the way through. Then see it flowing through the chakras and unblocking the whole area all the way into the lungs until the whole lungs are coated in white energy. So you'll do this for a few minutes, and then it'll be time to start the main bulk of the healing. So for that, you go back to the same golden energy that's coming from your storage areas, and you keep it flowing down the arms, but this time you keep it as golden energy all the way through to the lungs. So it's still going through your arms, through your hand chakras, into their chakra opening. And by the way, that's going through chakra cords, if you remember that. And then into the chakras and into the material body and all the way into the lungs. When it gets to the lungs, you add your visualization that you prepared earlier. You see the energy doing its job, and in this case, it's removing scar tissue and mucus from all the airways and the alveoli. And there's no time constraint with this exercise like there was in the self-healing one. So you can take your time with the visualization. But every now and then, go back to the golden energy storage and trace the energy back from your own body and through your arms and into their body. And then back to the programming visualization. You can swap back and forth and keep repeating it. Now, once you've delivered the main bulk of the healing, then always end with filling up their energy body with clean golden energy. That's the ender. So that's easy. You can just stop the programming bit in the visualization and just send all that lovely clean golden energy in and visualize it going in and all around the different parts of their energy body. And by the way, I have been moving my hands around quite a lot here because I'm teaching, but when you do it, you'll just be holding your hands out for the whole time. And the visualization is just in your mind. And don't forget, you can enhance the intensity and the flow of energy with the breath, but make sure you keep it very light, otherwise it'll be really off-putting for the recipient. Basically, you want to keep completely silent whenever you're giving golden energy healing to others. Now, another thing to mention at this point, do you remember in a previous lesson when we mentioned the 9th chakra? We can't go through the whole thing again, otherwise the video will be too long. But remember how sometimes golden energy can actually come through your body, through your 9th chakra, as well as coming in through your other chakras. Well, this is a good time to practice that. Wherever you are in the journey of spiritual evolution and whatever stage of growth your 9th chakra is at, you can use this type of exercise to encourage its growth. So you can actually add it into your visualization process. When you're visualizing all that golden energy in your storage areas, you can also add where that golden energy is coming from. You can visualize it coming in from all your chakras, but also try and see a stream of golden energy coming down from the 9th chakra, which is up here above your head. Now, all that is quite a lot to visualize. So you might want to practice this process in chunks, trying one part at a time, and then putting it all together once you've tried all the parts separately. So there you go. Take that away and practice on your friends and family. You can do that exercise on its own as one healing session, or you can combine it with a chakra clearing or a meridian clearing or a golden energy refresh or whatever you like, really. Once you're experienced with all these techniques, you can mix and match whatever you like. And lastly, remember at the start of the course, we talked about non-intention healing. That can come from your higher mind. Well, don't forget that in this process of giving healing. Your higher mind is capable of very powerful healing sometimes, and it can sometimes send its own healing while you're giving a healing session. This definitely won't happen all the time, but once in a while it might. Now, you don't have any control over that, but just spare a thought or two about it while you're giving healing, and you never know. The more attention you give to your higher mind, the more likely it is to start responding in some way. Okay, that will definitely do for now. Make sure you follow or subscribe for the other videos and to hear about our other courses as well. See you soon.